I'm an expert web designer, and I'm going to help you build a travel agent website of your dreams. Essentially, this is going to be the website that you can show to clients to help them understand, which destinations you specialize in, what services you offer, and learn about you and your business. And as you can see here, the website's going to look something like this one, right in my background, where it highlights different parts of your business. It allows users to get in touch with you in order to plan a trip, and it's quite multifunctional. Now, this is a template that you're going to use to work with, but throughout it, I'm going to help you, set up your hosting and your URL, be able to use the correct plugins, build the right pages for your website, customize things such as the font, the copy, the colors, the images, the logo, and everything, so it represents your own brand. And actually, I'm going to do all of this, building this website that you see here with you. Now, our websites are completely, responsive, which means they work well and they look nice on both mobile and tablet devices. And, well, if you choose to join us, you're going to see how we build this site, and then you can follow along and, well, build a site for yourself that looks just as good as this. I look forward to it. Talk to you all soon. Hey everyone, thank you for joining us in this journey to help you build, your perfect travel agent website. I'm very excited to really play a significant role in, a part of your business that may be with you for several years to come. And hopefully we make this process very easy for you. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to waste time going into detail on a lot of different, nooks and crannies or tidbits of building a website. Instead, what I want to try to do is take you through the pace of, building this site in around 2 hours so you can have the site of your dreams. And essentially, what the outcome should look like is, well, this site behind you, because this is what we're building. Now, the layout of the site will be the same. Of course, stuff such as, the copy, the content, the images, the logo, well, that's all going to be unique to yourself. Same with the font. I'm going to show you how we can customize the font and everything like that. Now, to get started, you need hosting. So essentially here, I really recommend using Siteground for hosting. It's just very simple and intuitive to use, and they have great customer service and great documentation, so if you ever get confused, it's easy to get in touch. Now, they have a plan right here called a startup plan. For most of you, if you're just building a single website, this plan, that's all that you're going to need. So I recommend doing that. It'll bring it down to about $3 a month for the first year, which is the most important year as you're starting out your business. So if you want, you can select this plan, continue and go down. Now there's a link to SiteGround down below in this video for you to click on. So when you pause this video, click on it, create your account, and then select that plan. From there you could see it has the 12 months. You could do a longer period. But essentially scroll down, click pay now. I suggest starting with the 12 months and moving from there. So once you do that, once you click on that, click over to the websites and select new website. Okay. So what you're going to see when you do that is you have these three options right here. You have new website, new domain, existing domain, and temporary domain for your new website. Now, if you don't own a URL is like what you see right here, mysiteground.com, here, and you get out of the drawing to, or right here, cacruising.com, right? Okay, so if you don't have a URL, you can select this one, and you can enter in what you want your URL name to be. So maybe if you're a travel agency focused on the Asian markets. You might do, Asia, or my travel around Asia, maybe something like that. Chances are this, URL is going to be taken, but you could enter it in, and as you can see, the loading bar right here. Here, I'll move this up here. There's going to be a loading bar right here, but it will tell you whether or not that URL is available, and unfortunately it's not available, but it will show you different URLs that are available. So, maybe you want to do travelaroundasia.org, or maybe you want to look till you find a .com. But essentially, you add that one, and you click continue. So as this loads, it's going to take you to this page right here, where you could select, start a new website or migrate a current website. Now, I'm just going to go back to websites, click new website, and select temporary domain, because I don't need to purchase a new domain for myself. If you already own a URL, then you just have to point the name servers to Siteground. So let's say you own a URL in GoDaddy, you purchased it there. If you Google, and I'll put the link down below, but if you Google how to point a GoDaddy URL to your Siteground, website, there will be documentations and, guides on how to do that, and this would be what you would select here to do that. But for now, I'm just going to click, temporary domain, and I'm going to click continue. It's going to take a while to, set up. That was pretty quick. So we want to click start new website, and we're going to click WordPress. From here, you're going to set up your login details. So this is your, email address that you want to use when logging into site. Same with the password. Right now, I'm going to pause the video as I do that, and then I'm going to resume once I continue. Okay, cool. So you add in your username and your password. You could skip this here on that special offer. Instead, I would just click finish. It's going to take a while to create your website, so I'm going to pause this video until it's done. Okay, once it's finished loading, this is the page that you're going to arrive at. It's going to say you're all set, and then you're going to have these three options. We're going to want to click on login to admin. It's going to take you to the WordPress starter page. Now, click start now. Essentially, what you do here doesn't matter too much, because we're going to be changing it, so we could just select other, proceed. It's going to make us choose a theme to start. Just select 2023. We can, let's see. Yeah, we want to add the contact form. All of this stuff, don't worry about clicking on. So just click continue. And we will want the all-in-one SEO team plugin. So we're going to click add here. Now, down below, you can see the different plugins that we will be using for building this website, as well as the theme that we will be using. We'll be using the Astra theme. After this, we're going to set up that theme, and then we'll install the other plugins. But essentially, in total, we'll be using 4 plugins in one theme. So, perfect. We're all set. Your site's ready. So, how about we click View Site? Okay, as you can see here, just a basic site. Not much going on. Very different than this site here, right? But don't worry. Very, very soon, very quickly, this site's going to start looking a heck of a lot more like this one. Okay. So if we click the W here, we're going to go over to the dashboard. Once we get into the dashboard, we'll click on Appearance and Themes. We're going to want to add a new theme. So we can just click Search Themes and type in Astra. Click Install. Click Activate. Perfect. So now this theme is activated on our site. Okay, let's go in and install all of the plugins that we need. Now, as you can see here, we have the all-in-one SEO plugin. That's one of the ones that we need. And then we have the WPForms Lite. That's, two of the 4 plugins that we need. So our next one is the Elementor plugin. And you have to click Add New Plugin before you can type it in, and then you search for the plugins. So we're going to type in Elementor. Now there's actually 2 plugins that we need from this. The first one is this basic Elementor plugin. All of the plugins and themes that we're using for building this, this website are all the free versions of those plugins and themes. So we're going to have the premium add-ons for Elementor and the Elementor website builder. So we're going to install this one now. Sweet, it's installed. We can click activate. Perfect. So as you can see, Elementor is here. It says get Elementor Pro. You don't have to do that. So we're going to click add new. We are going to go ahead, search plugins, type in Elementor. Scroll down here, premium add-ons for Elementor. And again, you can see all of the plugins down below. So install. Activate. Wonderful. From here, we're going to go ahead and we are going to configure a lot of the settings that you need for these plugins, or at least for the Elementor plugin. So click on Features, and if you want, this is a newer one. This is the editor in the top bar. So the top bar is like up here, and then there's the sidebar. You could click on it if you want. You don't need to, but we want to make sure that the grid container is set. So we want to click activate for the grid container. Landing pages, we can click activate. Whether or not, you won't need landing pages for this. Lazy load background images, we can click activate. Outside of that, all of this should be set. So just click save changes and we should be ready to go. Okay. Now we're going to work on the appearance of this theme before we start adding all of the pages. So we're going to go up to, or I guess down to where it says appearance, and we're going to click customize. So this is where you can make customizations at a site-wide level. So the customizations that you make here will affect stuff such as the header and the footer, and then pages and posts, like the width of it, if they're full width of the viewport. By viewport, I mean the screen, and whatnot. And then it's also, designing the menu and other forms of navigation. Right now, to start, we're just going to click on page, and we're going to click single page, and what we want to make sure is that it's the full width. So click full width, no sidebar. Perfect. Should be set. We're going to remove the page title area. Essentially what that means, you can't see it here, but typically, when you create a page in WordPress, there will be a title here, and that will be default or displayed by default. So selecting this off gets rid of that. Click publish. Publishing it is saving it, and it sets it it makes it active for the whole site. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the blog posts. So go ahead, click single post, full width. We want, no sidebar. You can leave commenting off, or on, or you can turn it off, and again, get rid of the post title area. Click publish. Perfect. Okay, so now there's still a lot left to customize, right? I mean, this isn't the header in the navigation that you want, and same with the footer. But we're going to take a step back, and we're actually going to click out of the customization. we're going to go over to pages, and we're going to start adding the different pages that you would want on your website. And as you can see, sometimes there's already default pages, created. We're going to just go ahead and delete all of those pages. Okay, now there's 0 pages on your website. Essentially, we want to create all of the pages that you see here, starting with a home page. So we're just going to click Add New Page. It's going to take you to the typical WordPress block builder. You don't have to worry too much about this. All what you have to do is where it says Add Title, click, type in Home, and then you could save draft, or you can even publish it if you want. We might as well publish it because it's not like anyone's coming to your site right now. So you might as well publish it, get everything out there so you don't have to do it later, and be able to check stuff in real time. Okay, so we did a home page, and we're going to go back and just do all of these pages that you need here. So add a new page. Up next is the destinations page. I believe I spelled that right. Yes, I did. Click Publish. Perfect. Go back. And I will pause this video, add in all of these pages, show you all of the pages that you need after this video, or after this quick pause. Hello again. So, as you can see here, we added a about page, a blog page, contact page, a destinations page, a home, a plan a trip, and a what we offer. Now, for your website, you don't need all of these pages. Let's say if you just want a home page and like a destinations or what we offer, a services page, you could say, and then a contact page, feel free to just do that. But I'm just walking us through adding all of these. After we add these, I want to go ahead and just add 2 post pages. So a post page is essentially, one of your blog pages is a blog post. So it's more so for like written articles or content that you're sharing. We can go ahead and trash this one. And then click Add New Post. And in this case, we're just going to write, blog post 1. Click Publish. Go back, and then add a second post. Okay, perfect. Now essentially you have all of the pages and posts that you need to get started on building your website. So we're going to hop back over to the appearances, and we're going to click on your menus. So currently you have your main menu, and well, it's invalid because these were the pages that we deleted to start. But what we want to do is go ahead and add all of these new pages that you created to your menu. Now granted, you can access a home page of a website typically by clicking on the logo. So we won't be adding the home page. Now you can add these pages to your website in whatever order you want, or to the menu in whatever order you want, and which ones you want. Like I mentioned, you don't have to create all of them. For the sake of this video, we're just going to add them in the same order that this templated website that I built for you guys is constructed. So destinations, what we offer, which is the service page, about, blog, plan a trip, and contact. So we're going to go click destinations, add to menu, and you can group add all of these and then rearrange it, which I guess is what I'll do. And it actually worked out semi decently, where I won't have to rearrange it too much. Now if you want to create a sub menu, let's say you want to have destinations, underneath what we offer. You just drag it like that. In this case, we're not doing that. Let's go ahead. When you want to delete something from your menu, you click on this drop down, just click remove. So we're going to delete these two. Perfect. Let's move the about underneath, our services page, and the blog behind the about, and then the plan a trip. Typically on websites, most of the contacts, book a demo, plan a trip, call to action pages, or CTAs buttons will be in the far right of a navigation menu, just for a frame of reference for you. Okay, we're going to click Save Menu. Perfect. So this is, our current main menu. If we click on Customize, when we click on Customize, we'll be taken back here, scroll down to Homepage Settings, and select a static page. From here, select the home page, and this will be your new home page. Now, as you can see here, you have the main menu up here. That doesn't look right, where the home is, in this main menu, but we can publish this, and let's actually see. Let's click out of this and go to the, visit your WordPress site. Okay, so somehow the home page is here. We can go back and try to fix this real quick. Go over to Appearance, Menus, and it's interesting, the main menu set up here. Oh, you know what? I definitely know what the issue is. Go back to Customize. Click up here. When you hover over it, you can edit it. So hover over it here. And what you're going to see, it says Configure, menu from here. Click on that, and we haven't selected the menu. So I guess we'll do this part right now. Select for the primary menu, click your main menu. And there you go. This is the menu that we wanted. So now you have that, readily available. In the off canvas menu, select main menu. That's for the, mobile. When you look at this on your phone, it will be a little hamburger menu up in the top there. In fact, I think there we go. As you can see, this little hamburger menu. If you click on that, you see the drop down here. That's your main menu. Perfect. So click Publish. Now, since we have the pages set, we have the menu set, we're going to go ahead and upload all of the templates. Now, if you're, viewing this video off of YouTube, or one of the online courses where you can see this, course websites where you can see this video for free, then you're not going to have access to our templates that you will need to build this, beautiful travel agent website that you see right here. Now, if you have purchased our, our premium version of this and you have access to templates, you should see them right below where you can download them, directly to your device and be able to continue, building your dream site. In case, you don't have access, but you want access, whether you're on YouTube or an online course, such as Coursera, Udemy, or whatever platform it may be, just check below or check around in the course. You should be able to find a link to the paid course and to the templates, and you can purchase them from there. Okay, with that being said, let's get started on importing all of the templates and getting your site finished. Okay, right now in your WordPress dashboard, you're on Pages. And if you scroll down and you click on the home page, you're going to want to click on Edit with Elementor. These templates are Elementor templates, so that's going to be what you're importing. Now, what you're going to see here is the Elementor page builder. Now, if you selected the top editor, essentially you're going to have an editor like this at the very top, but that will be the only difference. This is one of the plugins that we added, right? Okay, there you go. It says add premium templates. You don't have to worry about that, but essentially it gives you more blocks that you can use without having to buy the Pro, Elementor plan. Here, when you click this one, that's adding a new container. That's if you're building the page customly, but we have a beautiful template, such as the one that you see here, in which we'll be using. So if you click here, add template, you want to click on my templates. And what you're going to notice is you don't have any templates yet. So this little up button here, that's how you import templates. And then you're going to click select file. Now, depending on where you have it placed on your device, you might already have the file opened up, such as here. Now, if you've downloaded it from our course, you're going to have a folder that has all of the different templates that you need. So we're going to click on the travel agent homepage and just copy it over. Select don't show this message again and click continue. Perfect. The travel agent homepage templates here. Select insert. And boom. Just like that. You pretty much have the whole entire web page. If you click update and you click preview, let's open this. Well, it should open up in a new tab actually. Yep, perfect. If you click preview, you can see what it looks like. And right here, you can't see the form because we haven't set up the form in your WPForms yet. But essentially, it's not too different than this page. Now, what you may see is like, hey, the fonts look different. What's the case there? Well, essentially, everything built out in our templates are built out using the default fonts. So when you want to set the font for your website, essentially the font that you pick will go across all of your web pages, and you don't have to go to each individual elements like here. Click stylize and click typography, and then select the font family if you want to change it. So we made customizing this your whole entire site as easy as possible. So with that being said, now since we have the home page, let's go ahead and jump straight into customization, and then we'll add in all of the other pages. So click customize. As it loads, you want to click on global and then click typography. Now you want pretty much your body font and your heading font to usually be the same. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to select for the website that we're choosing Lexand as our new font. Now you can choose any font that you want. That's totally up to you. But for us, we're choosing Lexand. So that's the body font. And the body font should cover all of your headings. But just in case, you could go ahead and type in Lexand. And that's also going to impact, the boldness and stuff like that. As you can see here, you can change it quite universally. As you can see, that's really bold compared to semi-bold. Maybe for this build, let's go with 700. Let's just go with bold. Okay, click publish. Right? It should be published. Click exit. And as you can see, throughout this whole entire page, you just customize the font to, your own company. Okay, now since we have the font set, as you can see here, it's quite universal across, the whole entire page. Let's go ahead and do a couple of things. So as you can see in the, template that we provided for all of you, we have icons here. Well, we're going to go ahead and add those icons back in. As you can view here, they're not here when you upload the template. So let's go over back to our page builder. And let's scroll down, and if you click on this, edit icon box button, so that I guess you could call it a pencil, right? Because as an eraser, the pencil right there, if you click on it, you can edit it. And what you're going to see is it's titled icon box. If you click down on the content, you're going to have a chance to do one of two things: access icons in the icon library. Here you could select a handful of icons to click on and implement. If you click out, it should turn black, I believe. Yeah, perfect. Or you can go ahead and upload your own icons. Now, if you're a premium user here, you'll have you can access the icons just down below. There will be a link for you. If you're not a premium user, you won't have access to those icons. You could use the default ones, or you can go ahead and upload them. And by premium, I mean you paid for this course and program and templates. So as you can see, we already uploaded some icons, but I'll go ahead and even upload some more. So I have a little folder here that I'm just going to bring over of icons that we built, and you'll be able to access those. But if you go ahead, let's see, I'm going to add in let's go add in this logistics icon. I think I want that one. And that looks about right for now. So I'm going to use this one, the insights icon, for the very first one here, or expert insights. And then if I click here again, I'm going to go ahead and click upload icon if you want to use icons from your own media file, media files. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to add in these different ones. So I'm going to add in this logistics icon. I'm going to click here and add in the bookings icon. Perfect. And then I'm going to click here and add in the best rates icon. Perfect. And if you update this and then go over and refresh this page, you will see all of these icons are here beautifully. Now it's time we start customizing this a little bit more to represent your own brand, right? We have everything on the page. We'll configure the form soon, but let's make this look a lot more like your own brand. So let's go in and add in your own logo, and let's go in and how about we change the color? How about we make this more oriented to the color of your brand? So I'm actually going to click on customize here, and we are going to we could just hover over the the logo. You could go through here and actually search for it. I believe if you go through header builder, then logos, but the easiest way is just to click on this and edit this element. Okay, I'm going to select the logo. I already uploaded it, but you want to upload transparent logos. You can either upload them as SVGs, and SVG is a essentially it's like an icon or a logo in a vector format, which means it's code, which means it won't take as long to load, and it won't take as much file space. So if you want to make sure your logo always loads, then you don't want to do like a PNG, but you can do a PNG if that's what you have access for. But for this sake, we're doing the SVG. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to skip the cropping here. Should be fine. Okay. And I do want to edit the site title because I want to represent it, to be our actual company, our actual travel agency. But I don't want it to be visible on desktop, tablet, or mobile. So as you can see, it gets rid of that added space. Perfect. So now our logo's added here. If we we'll hide this builder. If we collapse the builders, we could see it's looking a lot more branded. Let's go ahead, and what I did here I'll publish this. What I did here is all of this red that you see here, it's set to the primary color of the page. So if you actually go out and you click Site Settings, you can click on Global Colors. And as you can see, this red that you see all across that page, that's your primary color. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to use a green color that I had used in the logo, and I'm just going to paste it in here. And you can use whatever color you want, but essentially when you change that primary color, what you're going to notice if we click update and go back, it'll have changed the color for the rest of the page. Now if we, here, let me go ahead. Okay, perfect, this is updated. If we refresh this, since this is in the page builder, you're going to see the logos here and everything. And that, the reason why that disconnected here, let's see. Oh, we're still in the site settings. That's why it looks funky. If we exit the site settings, if we exit the site settings, this should go back to normal. Perfect, there we go. Okay. So send it backwards, as you can see. Now it's all representing the color of the logo. It's all looking, quite cohesive. And now when we upload all of the other templates, it's going to upload with this color because that's the, primary color of the site. So let's go ahead and let's change these, menu items to actually be this green color. So we're going to click back over here and customize. And similarly, as mentioned, you could go through the header builder, or you could just hover over, the menu, click on it, and you're going to, be customizing your primary menu. Click design. And as you click design, you can scroll down and be able to edit the text color. So let's go ahead and just paste in that same green. See how it looks? Looks pretty good to me. Maybe we want to emphasize it not by changing the size, but by changing the weight of it, so the boldness. Right now it's inheriting that Luxen font. Let's give it a semi-bold. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Let's make it turn black when we hover on this color. So if we click on this hover here and select, let's just select a straight black. Perfect. Okay, let's click publish. Exit out of the customization. And now we're back on this page. Okay, it's looking good. Our menu and our header is about done. We will edit the footer later, and we will edit the forms soon. But let's go ahead and add in our own photos and content to this page so it really represents our brand. Now, what I did for all of you here is I created this this Google Sheet that if you're, a paid person, again, if you're not, feel free to click on the link below and get access to it. But you're able to access this Google Sheet, and you can go ahead and click File and just make a copy. And after you make a copy of it, you will have it on your own Google Drive. What you want to do is each of these little sections represent elements on this page, right? So this is the H1 element. Here you can add in your own text. This is, the image above the fold, the background here. So the fold is like the first viewpoint that you see. It's also sometimes referred to as the hero section. So the orange, what's in orange is for images, and then everything else is like text elements that you will need, for your page. And if you kind of go down here, what you will see is, this is the H2, this is the paragraph resulting for that, and so on. So it kind of just walks you through that entire process. Your goal is to go ahead and fill out all of this, copy. So pause here if you're following along. Fill out all of this copy. Once you've made a copy of this Google Sheet, fill out this Google Sheet. And then after that, you should have something that looks a bit more like this, right? Where all of, the content's filled out. And what you want to do is you want to copy it, go over to the Elementor page builder, and then you can hover over it. Control Shift V is how you paste something into WordPress without copying the style of it. That's what it is for Windows. It's probably different for Mac, so you may want to look it up. But as you can see here, best places and tips for traveling Europe by train, right? It's looking a lot more authentic to our own brand. And what you want to do is essentially go down for each element on the page, and then copy over it and paste. And I'll pause this video and go through and do that for the rest of this page, so you don't have to watch me copying and pasting everything, and then I'll resume from there. Okay, so we added in all of the copy for this page. And again, it's super easy to do this if you store all of the copy in this Google Sheet and go ahead and edit it. Now, you don't have to use the Google Sheet if you don't have the template, or if you do have the template, but you just want to go ahead and type it into the actual Elementor page builder yourself. You can go ahead and do that. But as you can see here, it's looking very branded now. We have our own copy, or copies, representing our regions and what we're offering. That we're a travel agency that focuses on the trains in Europe, and I think there's like 33,000 different 30,000 plus destinations across 33 different countries. So now it's a lot more representative. Let's go ahead and add in our own images, and I am going to click, perfect, it's published, it's updated. I'm actually going to refresh this real quick to make sure that the menu represents the change that we had done in the appearance and customization section. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and add in these images. So if you click on the container here and you click style for this big one, you're going to be able to edit the background image. So the image for here, this is a background image. If you click choose image, you'll be able to access your media file. Now, we already uploaded images for this, but if you click upload files, you could just drag and drop the images that you need. I suggest creating images or getting images that are 1,920 pixels by 1,080 pixels for the above the fold image. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this image. This is our Europe background, and let's copy this over for our alternative text and just add in image here. So the alternative text is text that shows to screen readers for accessibility reasons. So if someone may be visually may have visual problems, they can go ahead, I forget the exact word for that, but they can go ahead and listen to the page, and the screen reader will tell them what the background is. It's also good for SEO. It's also good if your page doesn't load, then the alternative text will be displayed, and it'll help give users an idea of what you were trying to do. So we're going to select this image, and now it's our new background. And as you can see here, it's looking very on brand. Now we have about 6 more images to change for this page. Those are destination images. So if we click here on this box and we click style, it's going to take us to background, and we can change that background image. Now, what you may be wondering here is like, hey, these images that you're uploading doesn't look as dark as the images that are on display. And that's because in the display images, if you click background overlay, I added an overlay. So I added a black cover with about a 25% of opacity. That's like transparency, so you can see through the black cover. And it just makes the images darker. I did this so then the text would pop. So let's go ahead and change, these background images. So if you click here, I added in different images for different regions, and I labeled them. So, this image of the Eiffel Tower, that's the image representing Western Europe. And I put that in the title. I actually titled it that way so I could copy it to alternative text. So I'm going to select this one. And I'll go through and I'll select all of the different images for each of these. And in case you are, creating your images right now, a good, size is about 500 to 500 pixels for each of these images. So I'm going to pause this, go ahead and add in all of the new images for this, then show you the end result. Okay, so what you can see here is now all of our images are added. And you can really see this, start to represent your brand, right? The font's different. The font may be more playful, depending on what type of travel agency you are, a travel site you are. If you click over to our template site here, as you can see, it's a little bit more luxurious. It's a little bit more serious. So the font has, a little more edges to it and so on. That's kind of the tone that we're giving here. Same with, the darker red color. But this, green kind of lighter color and the the more curvy font and so on, and a little bit wider, it looks a bit more playful, and that's kind of the appeal that we're trying to go for the Euro by Rails. And same with these images here, they match a lot more with this green enhancing color. So as you can see, it's starting to represent your brand. Now, something that you can do here if you want is you can edit the buttons to be a little bit more representative of your brand as well. So I don't know, for a more playful travel agency like this, that I would want buttons that have sharp edges. Instead, I think I'm going to go ahead and add a border radius to them. So if you want to round the edges, you change the border radius. So right now, we're editing the button. And we want to do this when it's on normal, so the setting should be on normal. We're going to go down and let's try a border radius of 12 and see how this looks. Okay, looking a bit more playful, but I think we can do a little step better. Let's bring this up to 16. Now, when this is linked, it changes all of the values together. And that will change all of the border radiuses together. Okay, I'm liking the look of that. I think I'm gonna go with the 16 here. It plays well with everything else. We can try a 20 just to see what that would look like if it makes it better. But yeah, actually, let's go back to 16. So I'm liking the 16. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and change that to 16 and then update this. Now, you want your buttons to be consistent across your whole site. So any change that you make here to this button, just be prepared to make that same change or to copy it over to the other buttons of the templates that we upload. Now, we're almost, pretty done with this page, and once we finish this page, all of the other pages will be a lot quicker, right? We've customized the buttons, we've added in our own images, added in our own copy, and changed the font and the color. And we've set up the header. So let's go down, and you know what? Let's start setting up this form. So you have the plugin WPForms. That's what we're going to be using. They have a free trial or not a free trial, but a freemium version that makes it pretty simple to get started and to use it. And if you want to do more customizations, then you could just upgrade to the paid version. And we'll leave the paid version for like Elementor Pro and for WPForms and these different plugins down below if you want them. Again, they're not necessary, but if you want them, you can feel free to get them. So if you click Get Started, we're going to be building out this plan a trip form that you see here, where it has the name, the email, and then which parts of, here says California, but we're going to have which parts of Europe are you interested in, and that will contain all of the different regions that we have on the home page, and then provide any additional details about the trip that you want, and a submit button. We're also going to make sure that you set it up so it's sent to your email and goes directly to your inbox so you don't miss out on any leads. Now let's get started with this. So if we come back here, it's going to take you to the form builder. It's going to say welcome to the form builder. Click let's go, and it should walk you through a little bit of like a tutorial. You can exit out of this challenge here, by the way. Just for here, let's enter your form name. So we're going to call this one plan a trip. Okay. And if you scroll down, let's see. Yeah, we can start with a blank template here. So let's click on create blank form. Perfect. And from here you can add in all of the different fields. Now here they have the free fields that you can access. All of the fancy fields you have to be a paid member. But we want the users to enter their name because we want to know who we're talking to provide their email, and then to be able to check the boxes of different regions that they're interested, of going to. So let's go back to the form. Let's add in a checkbox, and then to provide, any other details. So that will be a paragraph box. Now, if you click on this field and you click on advanced, I believe this is where we can change the field size. So from here we can move from a medium field size to a large field size. Same with the email. So if you click advanced, move to large field size. And we'll essentially want to do this for all of them. So click advanced. For this one, we want a 2-column layout because this will show both of these columns. It will automatically jump to the full size of the field. And then for the last one, oh, perfect. I think this one's automatically, no, it's medium. We want it to be large. No, actually, we do want it to be medium. Sorry. We want it to be medium because that's the amount of space that it takes down below. Okay, so if we click save, perfect. Now we have this, plan a trip form built. And if you click the get started here, let's see. We actually want to click out of this. So once this loads, we can exit it. Perfect. Click out of this. Open up your, Elementor page builder, and then click on this form. And you're able to select a form. Select the plan a trip form. Now, as you can see here, it has, pretty much the same functionality as you see in the template. Now, we want to go ahead and customize this. So it says, which parts of Europe are you interested in, and has all of the different regions. So I'm just going to go ahead, copy this text, and go over back to the form builder. Click on this, edit the selected form right below. Perfect. Clicking on this field, we can change the label. I'm going to paste this in and then change this to Europe. Nope, caps are on. Let's see. There we go. Change this to Europe. So which part of Europe are you interested in? And then from here, we can add in the different choices. So I believe the options on this page was, we start out with, I want to say, Southern Europe, or no, Western Europe. We start out with Western Europe. And I'll just copy this here. Then we moved on to Southern Europe. Then Northern Europe. And if you click this plus, we can add in more fields. So we want to have a total of 7 choices because we want to have all of these locations and then that other in case they're interested in something that we don't have listed. So we have Western, Southern, Northern, Central, Eastern, and then the Alpine region. So I am going to go ahead and paste this in again. Type in Alpine region. We'll fix this to be Central Europe. Fix this to be Eastern Europe. And then Alpine region, and finally other. And as you can see, this is a lot more representing of the different geographical regions that a travel agency may offer services in. Now for the paragraph text below, it's just please provide any additional details about the trip you want. You can change this copy if you'd like. You could use it if you like. That's up to you, but it's a pretty general text. Click save. Perfect. Then you can exit the page builder, and what you will see is it'll upload or update, and now you have your form here. So click update here. We're going to go over to the home page, refresh this, and boom, it's looking really good here, right? You have your form, everything's set, your own text is really representing your own travel agency. So now we're going to go ahead and edit the footer and this icon here that sends you to the top. It's a little scroll icon. We want to make this scroll icon to be green, and then we want the footer to include the menu, whatever your email address may be, and a little copyright section of your site. So if we go over here and we click customize. Okay, so once it loads, we're going to go ahead and change 2 things here. We're going to change the scroll to the top icon and then the footer. So we're going to start with the scroll to the top. If you click on global right here in the customization settings, you can see that you're customizing the global settings, and if you click scroll to top, you're going to be able to change the design. Now, you can enable it that this exists. If you don't want it to exist, just get rid of this toggle, and you're going to see pretty quickly it disappears, but we want it to be there. And then you can choose if you want it just on desktop or both desktop and mobile, or if you want it on the right or the left. For now, we're just going to change the design. So the icon color, that's, if it's white, if it's black, as you can see here, if we change it to red, it's going to be red. But we'll leave it at white. For the background color, we're going to want to copy in, our original green that we have for everything else, so it matches. And that's it for changing the scroll to top. That's all you have to do. You can do other stuff, such as change the hover color. I don't necessarily think you have to do that, so don't worry about it. Okay, now on to the footer. So if you click this button here, you can access the footer. And if you click at the very top one, this says above footer. If you click at, what does this one say? Below footer, and then this is primary footer. I don't believe this will actually matter too much in which you choose unless you stack these. So for the sake of this video, let's just do this one right here, the primary footer. So I'm actually going to remove the elements from that grid. So the primary footer, it's in 3 columns. You want it to be 3 column, and you want it to be equal layouts like this. Okay, so for each of these, when we want to add in an element, we just click this plus here. We're going to add in this widget, and then a footer. Now when I say this widget, I'm talking about widget 1 and widget 2. Each of those widgets you can customize. Okay, so for the footer menu, let's do this first. We want it to be stacked, not in line. In line means it's a straight line, stacked means it's on top. So click stacked. Let's yeah, let's keep it right now for desktop. Let's keep it aligned to the left, so it's inward. We want it to be visible across all of the different devices. And now let's go to the design. So what we did is we set the text to be the color of our page. You will have to set that, but if you click on text, you can go ahead and select, the color that we want to use for everything else, which in this case is green, but for you, it may be whatever color you choose. Okay, so the design set there. We're going to have to now configure the menu from here. So if you click configure menu, you're going to see the primary menu. This is the menu here we'll use the scroll top, at the top that we set here, but we actually want to configure the footer menu, which is what we're going to see right here. So we're going to select main menu, it's the same menu, and you're going to see it appears right here exactly how we wanted it. Okay, now let's go ahead and add in our widgets. And for the footer, what we do want to do is make it that, well, here. So for the footer, we want to make it that when in a mobile view, it's aligned in the center, which already is, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's go back to desktop. Okay. So for this widget here, we are going to go ahead and design it by adding in content to start. Okay, so click widget 1. Perfect. Okay, that's why. It's the intro to a block builder. So once you click on widget 1, you're going to be able to get into what's called the Gutenberg block builder. So it's different than Elementor. For the header and the footers, we have to use this. And we're just going to add in the paragraph. And for our paragraph, we're simply going to make this middle section be your contact section. So if you want to add a phone number, you can add a phone number here. You can customize it, any way that you would like. In this case, we're just doing an email. So we're going to Control-Shift-V, paste in this email, and we'll change it to, Euro by Rails for contact eurobyrails.com. Perfect. And we want to make sure that for this design on a mobile device, it's centered in the middle. And actually on desktop, we want this to be centered in the middle as well. So once we do that, we can go ahead and change the content color. For this one, let's make it black. Click publish. And as we can see right here, it's pushed over just because we haven't added in the, that's because we added in as, widget 1 when we should have done widget 2. So we're just going to flip these over. Doesn't matter which order they're in. Now you see this is in the center and this is on the left. That works better because, like I mentioned, we want this to be aligned to the center, so we actually need to update this. Okay. Should be set. You're seeing how this page looks on, I believe this is tablet, this is mobile, and as you can see, this is aligned in the center, the menu's underneath. Perfect. Okay, let's go over to widget 2, and let's add in our widget 2. We're just going to add in the copyright for URLs. So we could just copy this over and add paragraph, then update this to be whatever the correct year is and company name. So it is still 2024, so we'll leave it like that, but we can update the company name to be Euro by Rails. And that's essentially all you have to do for this. If we click design, we will want to make sure that it's set up correctly for desktop. So we actually want this to be aligned to the right, so it's a little bit closer. And then we could check and make sure it's aligned perfectly in the center for mobile or tablet and mobile. And perfect. Okay, click publish. And now we can exit out of this. And essentially, now our menu, our header is set. the page is looking great, the footer is set, and yeah, it's it's all on theme, it's all on color, and we finished the very first page. And then depending on what additional pages you add, you'll want to do. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started on all of those other pages. Okay, so when we're adding all of these additional pages, we're just going to go back into the dashboard, click on pages. Now we've already have these pages created. So what we have to do is set up the editing in Elementor and then go ahead and just import the templates. So click edit for like the about page. Click edit with Elementor. And then hover over add template, click on it, click my templates. Right now we only have the homepage template, but what we're going to do is we're going to go up here again, import template, here's a folder so you can see it, but I'm going to grab that travel agent about page template, slide over, and import it. As I import this, I'm actually going to import all of the other different pages as well, so I don't have to do that later. I'll pause the video as I do this, and then I'll get all of the additional files imported. Okay, I added in all of the pages, so there should be 9 in total. There will be 7 pages, and then 2 that say post, and these are the blog posts. So you can see these 2 right here. Since this is the about page that we decided to do, we're just going to click right here for insert travel agent about page. And it should be uploading it. And this is what you're going to see. All of the colors is going to change to green because that's our default color. For the WordPress forms, if you click on this form here, you can select the plan a trip form, and that will populate. So we're going to update this, and we'll go back through here to just a home. Yeah, we can leave that page. Click on the about, and what you're going to see, this is the page that we want. And what you may notice up here is this is blue when it's active. So we're actually going to just change that real quick. Click on the customize. You may already remember how to do this. So if you do, feel free to jump ahead and do that. But just click on the edit here, click design. For the menu, as you're going to see here, blocks on the hover, let's make the activate the same as the hover. We could just publish that, and we fix that little thing real quick. Perfect. Okay, now we will want to customize this page. We have content written for it. So if you click on the copy of the travel agent website content for the about page, we have a bunch of content written here. So if you just copy Euro by Rails, this is the H1, and paste it in. So that's the Euro by Rails story for our H1. And you can go through and essentially all of the copy that you have written. Right now, just go ahead, copy it, and paste it in to where it goes. So I'll pause the video and do that for this whole page. Okay, so now if the copy is added for this page, it's all unique to Euro by Rails. Let's go ahead and change this image, right? Because it's no longer about California like what we have in the template that we provide for you. So let's go ahead and fix this so it's not an outline of California, but instead something relevant to Euro by Rails. So right now, this is the image element for Elementor. Let's click on this and let's change it. I'm going to upload a new image here. And let's go ahead. I will actually drag this image in, but I have a folder here that has all of the different images that I want to use for this site. And for this one, let's go ahead and let's use this image representing Italy. Now, again, you want to copy this over and put it in the alternative text. And I'm just going to select this one. And as you can see, this fills in the background as a mask. Now, what's happening, why it makes the shape of California, is because we went ahead and enabled masking. So the masking is on. And you may have noticed this in the, I believe it's the What We Offer page, how these images have shapes. That's due to the mask. So we're going to go ahead and essentially choose a new mask. Now you could do it with an image or a SVG file. So I'm going to do it with a SVG. I'll upload a new file. And similar as to before, I'm just going to drag it over. I actually have a pretty good one of a train. Since it's Euro by Rails, I think a train would be fitting. So we're going to go ahead and select this. And essentially, that's the train in the background. And if you don't like that image, you could go ahead and choose other images to try out. Maybe it's something that you have already used, such as Spain. Now, I actually prefer this image here, so I'm going to go ahead and implement it. But essentially, that's how you customize this image here in the About. In this section where we also have masks images, this is where I'm going to go ahead and use those smaller sized graphics and add them in here. So, you may have a methodology to choosing them. For me, it's right now, for the sake of this video, it's going to be a little random. And there we go. Okay, so update this. And since it's updated, we're going to refresh this page. Our About page is now looking very custom to our own travel agency. And it's looking really nice. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and now do all of this for the different pages. Let's jump over to our destination page. So we're going to leave the Elementor page builder. Just go back to the website as a whole. Click on destinations. And then edit page. We haven't started Elementor page builder for destinations, so we're going to edit with Elementor. Then we're going to go ahead and add in our template for the destinations page. So click insert. And boom. Now, as what you may be able to notice here is the green in the heading here doesn't have great contrast with this image. So we want to make sure that when we're choosing images as a background, they have a good contrast with the primary font color choice that we have chosen. So we can go ahead and maybe we want to use this image representing Italy, or maybe we want to use a different image. I'm going to go ahead and possibly choose one of the other images that we have created for this video. So let's see. How about we try the image of the train in the Alps. So I'm going to copy that, put into alt text, and click select. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, as you can see, the background is a little bit more white. As I mentioned earlier on the home page, is because there's a background overlay. If you feel that white is making it harder and not easier to read the text, then you can adjust it, as needed. If you see here, if you make it to 0, then those in the back are kind of difficult to see. But maybe what we do here is we actually go ahead and we'll change the styling of these fonts to be white. So if you click on it, click Style, go down to Content, you're going to see there's not a selected color for here. Let's try out white and see how it looks. Yep, that pops well. So if you copy this, you can actually just go ahead and paste the style for this one right here. And maybe we even want this green to pop a little bit more. So since we drop down the background overlay on the white to 0, how about we actually try a black background overlay and then see how it looks. As you see, as we add some opacity, it really helps it pop. So let's maybe give it with like a 20% to start, not make it too dark. Let's move it up to 25. Looks good. Okay, that's some great contrast, makes all of the font and text quite eligible. Okay, so now since we have everything looking good, if you take a look at the destinations page on the template site, you're going to see there's these icons here. So we want to add those icons in here. So if we go back to our Elementor page builder and we click on this purple edit box, we click content, we're going to see the icon box, because all of these are icon boxes, and we can click upload SVG. In this case, like before, I have them in the folder. As I mentioned, if you bought this template in this course, you'll have access to a handful of icons to use. If not, you can use the default ones, but for this one right here, I'm going to drag in the icons that I want to use. So I'm going to click upload files, and I'm just going to drop them in there. And as you see, the attraction icon is in here, so I'm going to insert this. These icons are in white to match the heading, and I'll go ahead and do the same exact thing for all of these different icons. Upload files, insert. I'm going to just upload this one more time, because I noticed it changed here when I tried to upload all 3 at once. Okay, just make sure that one stays what it is, and I am going to then go ahead and upload this SVG. Oh, perfect. It's already here. Just in case, I'll pull it in one more time to make sure it's there. Perfect. Okay, as you can see, we now have all 3 of our icons here. So we can update this and go ahead and preview it. And it's looking really good, right? The first part of our destination page is done. And let's go ahead and now edit these images, and then I'll go through this and I'll update the content. Actually, to start, I'm going to I'll update the content to start, and I'm going to start with the tab, just because it'll make it easier when adding in all of our images. So right now, if you click on the tab here, you can see the different items, and if you click on it, you can adjust the labels here, the titles here. So right now in San Francisco area, but if we change it to Western Europe, it'll update to Western Europe. And of course, we want to go ahead and do that for all of our titles. Now, I am going to pause this video, since by now you should know how to update all of the content here, and I'm actually going to use the content that I have written out in the copy here for the destinations page, and I'm going to upload or update all of the content here, and then I'll resume the video and go through editing those videos in the tab. So, see you soon. Okay, as you can see here, all of the content is updated. So if you scroll down, you're going to see different H1 to start. But then if you scroll down, you'll see that the content in these tabs are, they're all very different, and they change. And same with this heading here. So let's go through and let's finish up this page by editing these images in the tab. And then also, real quick, let's click on the form. and just select the plan a trip form. So it's here. Okay, let's start with this tab, with these images. So let's click on Western Europe. Now, in order to change the image, unfortunately, you're gonna have to, I believe you'll have to delete the image. So click on it and then click delete. And then you can add the new media. We want to add the images that we labeled that represents, each specific location. Now, when you add in the new media, you want to align it to the left. So you want to click on the image, then click align to the left. And as you can see, this is a bit smaller. What we want to do here is change the size to full size, and then click update. And there we go. And if you collapse this, what you will see is it looks really nice placed in here. Okay, so we'll go through it one more time on Southern Europe, and then I'll go through and I'll edit all of the other images, or pause the video and edit the other images. So again, you want to click on the image, click delete. Then you are going to go ahead, click add media. Click on the image you want to insert. Click on it again, align it to the left, so all of the content's populating on the right. And then you want to click edit to edit the image and change the size to the full size of 500 to 500 and click update. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to update this and then pause this video and update the rest. Okay, all of the images have been changed, and what you're going to be able to see here is we now have a beautiful looking destinations page that walks people through all of the different destinations that your travel agency specializes in. So it's quite simple, quite straightforward, and we are really making headway on this travel agent website. Right now it's quite personalized to you and your brand, and we only have a couple more pages left to build. So with that being said, let's go ahead, and this is the page live. Let's go ahead and do these services, so what we offer page. So if you click on it, again, we have to click edit page. Click edit with Elementor. And as it loads, we're just going to import that template once it loads. So click template, my templates. It will be the one that says travel agent services page. So click insert. And boom. Just like that, it's here. So what we will do real quickly is we will edit this section up here and put in the icons just to give you a quick refresher, and then we will pause it so you can go ahead and do all of this yourself, and I'll refresh it when it's all updated. But to start, let's change this background here. So remember, you click on the container, click style, and then you could reselect a different image. For this one, let's actually try out the image representing Italy. Yeah, I like the look of that. Let's wait for the other page content to load. That actually looks quite good. I may just change the background overlay opacity just a little bit, so it's less white and a little bit darker to let the text pop. Maybe bring this down to like a 30. Yeah, that looks really good. And then with the images, they're masked right now, but we can change the image, and we want to leave the masking the same. I mean, if you want to pick a different shape, feel free to. But let's go ahead and let's use Northern Europe here as this image. And again, you could be more selective with your choices. For us, we're going to do it slightly more, random, although I really do like that in the center. Yeah, that looks good. I'm actually going to change this one and go ahead with maybe try out the Alps. See how the Alps looks. No, I want something with a little more color. Should we, let's see. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. So now, we've changed the images here. This text is actually kind of difficult to read on this, so maybe we do go ahead and I will tell you what. Let's see. Let's change the background here. The not not this background, but let's change the background overlay because it is a little bit more difficult to read. And let's actually, since this is a lighter font, make it black, but really reduce the opacity down to like a 0.1. Let's see how that plays. I actually did like the white better, believe it or not. So let's change it back to the white. That's a little bit better, but you know what? It is a little bit difficult to read this text here. So how about we actually change this text color? Let's see how the white looks good here, but whether or not it looks good where there's more yellow in this background, no, that's the problem. So let's change that back. And you know what? Let's go ahead and see. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, I think because there's so much text here, it's going to be better off if we actually use a background image that has less pieces moving around. Like there's a lot of graphical detail in this background image, and it just takes away from the text. So we're going to go ahead and change this image after all. I'm going to upload a new image from our images for Europe. And I'm going to select one that has a little bit less of, I guess you could say activity or noise happening. I actually don't know if that was a little bit less of noise happening. But let's see how that looks with the blue. Let's try one more. I want to upload one more. And you'll find yourself doing this as you're, building the site. Nothing about building a site usually goes perfect on the first time around. So take your time and try out, different images until you find the one that works perfectly. Okay. Let's see. Once it loads. That's a bit better. Let's bring up this opacity and see what it does. So I think bringing up the opacity here on the white background overlay it definitely helped us achieve a bit more of what we wanted. Since we are now doing something a little bit less of the city, I'm going to go ahead and change these images to more of a country appeal. So let's go ahead and do, let's put the one with a little more activity, this one in the center here. Perfect. And we could go ahead and change this one to, maybe we'll actually do the, no, let's see. How's this? Yeah, that's good. That works. That's looking good for me. maybe we'll actually change the mask here. So if you remember, you click Advanced, go down to Mask, and right now the mask is in the blob shape. So let's try a couple different ones. I don't really like the flower fit, nor do I like the hexagon fit. Let's try a circle. Interesting. Wait, let's go back to the blob. And I believe what was happening is, so that's a 50% width on the styling. This, this looks like it was a little bit smaller in the size, but let's see how this looks. Okay, cool. If we increase the size there, it looks a bit better. Let's go with that. And what will happen as you're designing these, some stuff will look really good, other stuff you'll revisit a couple times. My recommendation is not to waste too much time with one piece, to find a solution and then eventually come back, because you can get yourself bogged down and spend half an hour to an hour on just a small graphic. So it's better to come back to it afterwards. So I'm going to go over to these section, and if you click on this, the little edit box again, you're going to see that this is an icon box, and we want to add in these icons. Now we have already uploaded our icons for this section, as you may recall, so we're just going to go ahead and insert all of them in right here. And I'm just showing this to you again, so you'll remember how to do this yourself. Let's see, let's just go planning. So upload S3G, logistics, booking and accommodations, and the best rates is the last one. Okay, perfect. Now at this point, you most certainly know how to edit all the copy. So I have the copy written in the Google Sheet. I'm going to go ahead, pause this video, and add all of the copy in here. Okay, so now all of the content has been added to this web page. We're just going to, again, select the plan the trip form. And at this point, click Update, Preview, and we are really rocking and rolling. The home page is set. It's looking good. Same with our destinations page. Same with our services page. And same with our about page. Let's go ahead and let's do the plan a trip page and the contact page. So click plan a trip page, click edit page, edit with Elementor. Click on the folder. Scroll down, insert plan a trip. And it's quite simple. It's literally like borders and just a form that we're going to add. So we're going to select the form, click update. Now before we get ahead of ourselves and think we're done, there's one last thing I want to do with this form. I want to edit the selected form. Okay, so from here we're going to edit the actions and the notifications of this form. So whenever a user fills it out, it gets sent directly to the inbox that you will be checking. So in order to do that in WordPress forms, we're going to click on the settings right here, and we're going to click on notifications. Scroll down to here, and you're going to see this is the default notification that's happening. Now, Well, yes, the current email address does not match your domain name. If you haven't set up your domain name, you'll get this warning. Don't worry about that. Essentially, what you want is this curly bracket right here is where it's sending the email to. Now, you could set it up if you show the smart tags for it to be the email that's filled out in the form. If you want to, be sending an email to the person who fills out the form. But if you want to get the response, then you want it to either be the admin email, that's the email that you use to set up this website, or any email address that you will be checking. So maybe you have like a business email address or a personal one that you'll be checking and you want to see the responses from, then you're going to put it right in here for send to email address. Essentially, here in the subject line, this is what's going to pop up in your inbox. Right now you have new plan a trip entry. That's fine. From name is Euro by Rails. That's your website. So this is just letting you know whenever there's an entry into the form. And then who this email is from. Right now it's your admin email. Now, please note, if you want to ensure that the emails come to your inbox, you either want it to be your admin email, or you want it to be the domain email. So if your email is set up to, or if your domain set up to be tourismtot.com, then the domain email, you may have made an account for like administration@tourismtot.com, and that's going to be the email that you want it to be from, or whichever one's associated with your WordPress account. So just make sure you have that right. But essentially, when that happens, the email message is going to have all the fields if you want this tag, or you can customize it to only have the fields which you want and any other data that you want, such as the date and yada yada. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of it. You can go into more detailed settings, but this is just to make sure that all of the entries that you get from people filling out the plan a trip form or any other form on the site show up in your inbox. And then the reply to. So here you want to enter the email address or the email address with the recipient's name. And the reason why you want to do this is if you were to respond to this email, who do you want it to go to? Well, if you want to receive an email to your business inbox, but then respond to it to the customer or the client who's planning a trip with you, then that's whose email you'll put there. But essentially, that's all you need to know. The default settings should be fine, just how they are, but now you know how to edit it. Okay, click save. That's all there. Let's go ahead and do the contact page. So we're going to click update. Perfect. And we can preview this. And as you see, here's our beautiful plan the trip page. Okay, let's click on contact. Of course, there's nothing there yet. Let's go ahead, edit the page. Perfect. Edit with Elementor. And by now, you should all be able to do this on your own, but I'll just walk you through it quickly. Select your templates, contact us, insert. Perfect. Same thing here, just click on the form. And rather than selecting the plan a trip form, you will want to, create a new form. As this loads, we're going to hop over to the sample website, and we are going to go ahead and click on the contact page that you will see right here. So here in this contact page, you're going to see we have the email, or the name, the email, and the reason for reaching out. Let's just copy this one right here. It's a pretty simple contact form. If you want to add more stuff, feel free to add more stuff to it. So now we will just wait for this to load. Perfect. So from here we can actually use one of the default forms. Let's use this simple contact form. Okay. Now it's very similar to one before. The name, just click on it, click advanced, and let's change it from medium to large. Same with the email. Perfect. And then the comment or message, we can go ahead and paste what we had copied from the template here, which is the reason for reaching out. Okay. The actions and notifications, it's already set up to default, so that should be fine. So click save, exit, and there you go. That's the contact form page. As simple as that. Update. Perfect. If we go to our website, click contact, there we go. Just like that. So then we can go ahead and do the blog page. Now the blog page is a little bit tricky in the sense that we also have our blog posts. So you know what, we're actually going to do the blog posts first. So if we go ahead and we click into the dashboard, we click on post, and we can click on each of these templates that we have created, or blog post pages that we've created, so we can insert the templates in. So this is blog post 1. Let's edit this with Elementor. And we're going to click here, add in our template. By this part, it should be so easy for you right now. And we're going to look for the travel agent blog post for the first one. And we're just going to insert this. And as you scroll down, perfect. Now as you can see here, the image is missing, so we're going to have to re-add the image here. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm actually not presenting us with brand new blog posts as I have done for the rest of the pages. But what I will do is just use the blog posts that we have on this template. So let's go ahead, as you see, these blog posts. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I am going to add in the images that we used for each of these. So let me double check which one. So this is 9 best beaches. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the beach image. And just select that for the sake of this. Perfect. And as you can see, it's all in our nice green color. We can go ahead and publish this. And if we go ahead and preview this change, we're going to see blog post 1 nice and live here. We're actually going to go ahead and copy this 9 best beaches to visit in California. And we're going to go over to the dashboard. Click on posts. Go ahead and just click edit, not edit with Elementor. And we'll actually change this from blog post 1 to 9 best beaches to visit. And then we're going to click, I'm going to move the little video camera down below, but we're going to click on these settings on the right hand side. And we're going to scroll down to where we see featured image. We're going to click on it. Now I'll move my head back above. And we're going to set a featured image. We're just going to use this image. Pretty simple. And then we can click update. Now, obviously, when you're creating your blog post, you have these templates. You're going to want to change, what the title is to your blog post, and you're going to want to edit the content in, Elementor to be content that reflects your blog post. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just using, the content that was already on this site. So there we go. We have the first one in. We're going to go ahead and do the second one. Click on Posts. We can click Edit. Perfect. And we can go ahead, click Edit with Elementor. Click on this folder here, My Templates. Scroll down to Travel Agent Blog post number 2. Click Insert. Wonderful. So let's copy this title here because we're going to add it in later. Let's go ahead, click on this image, change the image. I'm going to upload the California driving image. Select it. Perfect. We're going to click Publish here. Now we can have a look at this. Wonderful. Looking good, looking good. We have our table of contents here. And yeah. And just a little side note for those of you who are interested in this. For the table of contents, if you want, you can go ahead and add a link, hashtag, and you could put it like maybe section 1. So the hashtag represents an ID in CSS, and then the section 1 is just, the name of the ID. And here, I'll make it like this. So section 1, hashtag, section 1, that's what this is linking to. And then here, on this very first section, if you click on it and you click Advanced, you scroll down just in the layout section to CSS ID, and you type in section 1 and click Update. Let's save this. There we go. It didn't save the first time. Okay. So if you click here, click Update. Preview changes. Scroll down, click on this. Did we do that right? Let's see. Hashtag section 1 update. Click on this. Perfect. It scrolls down. So you have to make sure that you have the hashtag because it represents the ID. But essentially, what that allows you to do in the table of contents is if you want people to easily be able to scroll from like Morro Bay Rock On down to Morro Bay Rock On, they can just click on it here. So that's just some customization that you can add in throughout this page. Perfect. Well, since we did that, let's go back to the dashboard. Let's go over to our posts, and then we're going to just click Edit, and we have to change the title and change the feature image. And if you're wondering why I'm doing that right now, you're going to figure that out shortly. So click on Set Featured Image. There we go. Perfect. Update. Wonderful. Let's go back to the dashboard, click on our pages, and go ahead and click Edit for our blog page. Now click Edit with Elementor, It's all going to come full circle now. Click on the folder, My Templates. Find blog page. So we have the blog posts, and then this is the blog page. Click Insert. Wonderful. Click Update. Perfect. And then preview changes. So the reason why we went ahead and we, added in the title in these featured images is because for each of these posts, if you don't set the feature image, this will show up blank. And if you leave as like blog post 1, that will be the title that's displayed. So as we're creating the preview for our blog posts, we want to have that information. Now, of course, for whatever your travel agency is, the post will represent whatever title you choose to give it, and same with the content. If you click on this, it will take you to the blog post. And this is the one where we linked here. So, if you want to skip through the table of contents, you can, and you know how to do that. Essentially, that's it. Congratulations. I mean, if you followed along and you paused the video and you built the website as you've done this, then you should have a full and complete travel agent website by now. There's only one last thing to do, and that's to quality check everything. Now, the site was designed to be completely mobile and tablet friendly, so 100% responsive. But, as you go through and you make the changes, maybe you messed something up or changed something from the template. I do it all the time too. It's a common thing. So you always just want a quality check to be sure. And there's a couple ways you can do it. If you're, have the WordPress builder, the easiest way is to click Customize. And you can go ahead once this loads, and then you could hide the controls, get a good idea of what it all looks like, play around with the navigation, and really go throughout the site. And there is one thing that we missed. I challenge you to see if you can notice it, and I will tell you in just a second. We can go through and edit that. But if you notice it, then you're fine. If not, we'll go back and we'll edit this pretty soon. But let's see how everything looks in tablet. Looking good. So we forgot the hamburger menu. This is why we quality check it. So we're going to go back and we're going to edit this soon. And let's check on the mobile. Everything looks good here. Destinations. Okay. So as you can see, it's all responsive, and depending on what device it is, it may look better, may look slightly funkier. You can, adjust as you want, but this looks pretty good. So as you can see here, this does look a little bit funky. So maybe we go back and we reduce, the size of this H1 on mobile a little bit. And this is why you always want to quality check it. It's responsive, but it depends on the amount of text that you add into, right? If your heading is much larger than the other heading that was used in the templates, it's going to change things. So we have to fix the hamburger menu. The other thing that I noticed is you see we curved, this button. We didn't curve the other buttons. And then let's fix this this header. And you won't go through and fix any header issues that you see. So let's do those three things right now. Let's start with the hamburger menu because we're actually in the customization mode right now. So set it to tablet or mobile where you can see it, hover over it, and then click on it. And we could just click on the design. Let's increase it to about the icon size to about 30. Okay, perfect. And then we want the icon color to be the same as the color that we have with the rest of our text. At any time, if you lost that color, you can just go ahead in Elementor and then click on any of the headings and be able to pull the color from there, like what we just did right now. So we're going to go in and add that color. Perfect. As you can see, that already looks really good. In here, let's let's hide our controls. Let's go mobile, and we can now hide our builder. And yeah, you see the hamburger menu looks a lot better. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and fix those other issues. The next ones will have to be fixed in Elementor. So we could just click on any live part of our site. Let's go over to the home and let's click edit with Elementor. Okay. Click here on top of it. And then when you click stylize, if you click on the button here, what you're going to see is, this is the size for desktop. Let's change it to mobile. And this is what we're seeing in mobile. So the reason why this looks different is because in the customization, I'll move this down, the width was a lot smaller. So in the customization, they probably had one of the most narrow widths that you would see on a on a cell phone, on any mobile device. I'm going to refresh this page real quick so that's green, and just make sure that save was changed. Maybe we didn't hit the publish in the customization, but we can double check this real quick. Click here to edit. This is going to shift it to mobile. Yeah, so we didn't click publish here, so let's publish this. And then this will change when we refresh it. Now, whether or not you want to drop the size, knowing that on this screen it's much more narrow than a typical phone. A lot of phones you should anticipate the breakpoints to be about 480 pixels to really 375 is some of the smallest. In this case, we can. I'll just click the styling here and change it from 62 to, let's go with 55 because it is a lot of text. Click update, and then go over to the customize. I'm going to refresh this, and we can also preview this change here. But once we refresh the customize, click mobile, go to the home page, and it looks a lot better. So there we go. Okay, so we fixed the hamburger, we fixed the H1. Let's go ahead and what's left? So we have to add 16 pixels to all of the buttons. So let's go ahead. We have buttons on destinations, services, our blog posts, and that's it. So 4 more pages. So if you click on destinations, edit with Elementor, and then click on the button you want to edit, you can go ahead, click style, and change the border radius to 16. Now, something important to note, when you change something on mobile, if it's like changing the radius, it's going to change it for, on desktop, it's going to change it for mobile as well. So it's only when you change like font sizes on the mobile that doesn't get affected. But if you design something in desktop, then click on mobile, it's going to have all of the different font sizes that you designed on desktop. So what you do in desktop affects mobile, but not necessarily the other way around, where what you do in mobile affects desktop, if that makes sense. Okay, perfect. So now we have updated it for our destinations page. We have to do the same for what we offer and for the post pages. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do that on my own. At this point, you understand that, and you understand how to do all of this, so I don't have to necessarily show you. What I recommend is when you finish building your website, to take a piece of paper or a notepad, put on something fun on Netflix, sit on the couch and watch it, watch that on the background, but really scroll through your site on your phone and your computer and just write down any responsive things that you see that doesn't quite fix. Because there's a small chance that you may have added text within your web page that is much longer than the templated text here, and you're going to need to adjust it on mobile. A lot of the times, most of the times, that won't be the case, but as you saw with this heading here, it may be the case, and if it is, well, you just want to know ahead of time before any potential clients see it. Hey everyone, I also wanted to include making your website secured in Siteground. So as you can see here, it says not secured, and that's because everything's in the HTTP, but you really want it to be in the HTTPS, and that's quite simple to do. So if you click on Siteground and you find a website that you want to secure, click Site Tools. Click on Security and go down to HTTPS Enforce and SSL Manager. If you click SSL Manager, click Select and you click Let's Encrypt, and then you click Get. Perfect. So once it's processed, you want to click Configure HTTPS, and it's going to take you to a support page that walks you through the steps. Now, rather than reading that, you can just follow along with me. All what you do is you click on HTTPS Enforce, and you slide this. Once it turns on, it's enforced. Now, it may take a little while before you actually, see that get enforced. It could take up to a day, but sometimes it's like this. It's super quick, and now it shows as secured, and you don't have to worry about that. So that's just a little, add-in that I wanted to include, and yeah, thanks. So another little tidbit that I wanted to add in is making this be the logo up here. So you don't want the default WordPress one, you want it to be brand oriented. And in order to do that, you just want to go ahead, click Appearances and Customize. Click on Site Identity. Oh, that went too fast. So you want to click on Site Identity. And then you want to select the site icon. And it's as simple as that. In this case, I am going to upload a site icon right now. Select this one. Publish it. Perfect. If I click out of this, you're going to see a site icon up here. Now, obviously, that's not too visible to what it is. I just used this, so you may want to select something that's a lot more prettier or visible, just like this flower here. But that's essentially that. With that being said, we've really covered everything you need to see to build out your dream travel agent website. I look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. Please let me know what was your favorite part of this whole tutorial and what was your favorite part of the templates, and what do you think would make these videos better. With that being said, thank you all, and I wish you all a fantastic day and a fantastic journey on your business. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. Cheers.